Last week, Apple TV Plus started streaming their newest animated release, Luck, and it's one I was curious how it will turn out, due to the participation of one person in particular. In 2018, after stories of inappropriate behavior were publicly revealed, John Lasseter left his position as creative head of Pixar and Walt Disney Animation Studios. It seemed like it would take a while before we'd ever see his name in the credits of an animated film again. However, Skydance wasted no time in hiring Lasseter to run the newly formed animation studio. I personally think it was a little too soon for him to be put in charge of a new studio. A few months is not enough time for someone to unlearn behavior they've been doing for years, and there are plenty of talented executives that could do the job just as well. Since he left Disney, I think Pete Docter and Jennifer Lee have done a wonderful job of running Pixar and Disney Animation respectively, and neither place appears to be missing Lasseter's input. Lasseter's name has been on a lot of quality animated films, which does create a certain expectation for Luck. Plus, he did direct movies like the first two Toy Story films and A Bug's Life, not to mention shorts like Luke So Jr. and Tintoy, which deserve recognition for their accomplishments. The director of Luck is Peggy Holmes, who has a Disney background of her own, although it should be noted that the film was originally being directed by Kung Fu Panda 3 co-director Alessandro Coloni, but, like he often did at Pixar, Lasseter replaced him and retooled the story. Of all that out of the way, how does his first post-Disney production fare? Unfortunately, I found the end result to be very disappointing. I do want to start with the positives, though. The lead character, Sam, is a likable and sympathetic protagonist as she deals with the frequent bad luck thrown at her. She also hates leaf blowers, which I can certainly relate to. Those are indeed the worst. The standout scenes in the movie are early on, when she deals with a series of unlucky events. Peggy Holmes was a dance choreographer before she became an animation director, and you can definitely see her expertise in that area in the way she stages those sequences. Simon Pegg gives a solid vocal performance as Bob, a black cat who Sam encounters and befriends. The animation is fine enough. It does not depart too much from the typical look of computer animated films, but it does the job of being visually pleasing. I appreciate that the movie does not have a villain, because it doesn't really need one. The situations Sam and Bob find themselves in, and the decisions they make, provide enough conflict. There was one character I actually expected to be revealed as a twist villain at some point, but it never happened, which I was okay with. Where the movie did not work for me was in the depiction of the good and bad luck worlds. The concept itself is not bad, but the problem comes from how the mechanics are explained to the audience. There are so many scenes where characters will stop and spout exposition about how everything works and the different contraptions used to distribute luck. One character even spends a considerable amount of time going over their backstory. It really disrupts the flow of the movie, having these constant exposition dumps. And yet, despite all this, it still feels overly and unnecessarily complicated. It actually made me appreciate even more the likes of Monsters, Inc. and Prep and Landing, which Luck shares some similarities with. Those stories were able to introduce their worlds to the audience using visuals and jokes and character moments in a way that was understandable and did not overload the viewer. There's that classic screenwriting rule of show, don't tell, and Luck does not adhere to it. There just lacks that sense of magic in this fantastical world, and Sam's various escapades just don't bring the needed excitement. At a certain point, I lost complete interest in the story, and the third act especially stretches things out to an unnecessary degree. By the end, I just felt nothing, and aside from the aforementioned unlucky scenes at the start of the film, I realized I did not even muster a smile during the movie's attempts at humor. It honestly does not even feel like a movie produced by John Lasseter. He had a lot to prove in producing his first feature since departing from Disney, but this does not start things off on the best note. I'm not writing off Skydance Animation, though. I watched the studio's short film Blush, which I thought was really good. They also have upcoming movies from Vicky Jensen, Brad Bird, and Nathan Greno in the works, with Rich Moore also developing projects at Skydance. However, it's clear from Luck that Skydance Animation absolutely did not need to hire John Lasseter to run the studio, and could have avoided the baggage and controversy generated from this decision. Although even if I did wind up liking the movie, I would still find hiring Lasseter to be skeevy on Skydance's part. Anyway, if you've seen Luck on Apple TV+, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and thank you for watching.